Do you remember the time a big purple dinosaur once sang,
"Anything can happen, anything can be. Anything can happen in the land of make-believe."
Hi everyone! Teach My Child is dedicated to helping children maximize their potential. In today's video, we will explore the power of pretend. Kids these days might be more interested in Peppa Pig than Barney. But the idea still holds. Every child loves to play pretend. But playing pretend isn't just fun and games. It's a great tool to boost a child's development. For many years, educators have been championing pretend play as a tool for learning. And there are 5 good reasons why. But first, what is pretend play? Professor Dina Weisberg of the University of Pennsylvania defines pretend play as a kind of playful activity that
crucially involves some form of representation or acting as if.
The concept is much easier to understand through examples. Think of a child who picks up a stick and says it is a magic wand, or who sets up a tea party for their stuffed animals. How about a game of cops and robbers between playmates, where one group has to catch the other? These acts of make-believe are all examples of pretend play. But what do children learn from this? Studies show that pretend play helps to develop a child's cognitive abilities, language skills, and socio-emotional capabilities. Pretend play sets up the skills that will eventually help children in school and in life. According to an eminent developmental psychologist,
play is the source of development and creates the zone of proximal development.
Now let's discuss the benefits of pretend play in each aspect of development. 1. Cognitive development. According to Diane Ackerman,
play is our brain's favorite way of learning.
Playing pretend sets the stage for developing abstract thinking. It revolves around the idea that certain objects can be represented using another object, like a stick that becomes a magic wand, or a blanket that becomes a parachute. Engaging in this kind of play teaches children to be imaginative and curious. Exploring these imaginary worlds in different roles also increases a child's ability to solve problems and think outside the box. A study conducted by Professor Sandra Russ connected early pretend play with creative performance years later. One study even found that Nobel Prize winners engaged in childhood games involving make-believe worlds more frequently than other individuals in their field. Imagine if your child could go from playing astronaut to winning a Nobel Prize one day. Wouldn't that be something? You'd probably start shopping for glow-in-the-dark moons and stars stickers. Teachers even use pretend play to encourage children to learn basic mathematics. Children playing with blocks learn about shapes, space, measurements, patterns, and the like. 2. Language development. In a school setting, pretend play usually involves groups of children acting out make-believe stories and situations. This is a good chance for children to practice how they use language and discover new ways to express themselves. Studies show that children who engaged in more pretend talk during play were more likely to perform well on vocabulary tests and assessments of narrative productions than those who don't. Teachers often make use of literacy tools and props, like road signs or notepads, to encourage reading and writing during play. For example, a child pretending to be a doctor may be given a prescription pad that he can write on during playtime. These props help children learn how to read words that are present during play. Studies show that children who are exposed to printed words during pretend play, such as stop, in a photo, recognize those words faster than children who lacked such exposure. 3. Socio-emotional development. Pretend play gives children a space to express different types of emotions, including those that they might not usually express. Just like practicing a language, the different scenarios that children come up with during play can help them practice expressing and regulating their feelings. When children assign different personalities to their stuffed animals and have them interact with each other, it forces them to consider the perspectives of others. This also helps them develop socio-emotional skills, like problem-solving and empathy. Engaging in pretend play with other children has been shown to encourage cooperative and helpful behavior. One study conducted by Elias and Burke found that students who engage in pretend play in the fall tend to show cooperative and helpful behavior, such as volunteering for classroom cleanup. 4. Self-regulation. One of the biggest benefits of pretend play is its effect on self-regulation. By creating and participating in imaginary situations, children learn how to control their emotions, focus their attention, plan, and think flexibly. This is because even though pretend play happens in an imaginary world, both the imaginary and the real world follow a fixed set of rules. For example, a child pretending to be an astronaut would still follow the rules of launch countdown and move slowly as if he were on the moon. Willingly following these rules helps a child practice self-control. Self-regulation also makes a child more persistent, because he can control his negative emotions or change his goals. Such self-control and resilience are essential for meeting school and social requirements. 5. Physical development. Pretend play can also enhance physical development. Integrating music, movements, and creative expressions in pretend play activities, such as in songs and dances, requires a child to be physically active. These activities also promote good health and the improvement of motor skills. Now you see that there is much more to make-believe than meets the eye. Pretend play is a way for kids to explore the world in a safe space, while also developing skills that will help them build academic and social skills. So next time you catch your child playing pretend, look closer at the kinds of scenarios that he comes up with, the conversations he engages in. Or better yet, just join in. Does your child's school make time for play? How about at home? Do you engage in playtime? Let us know in the comments. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more ways on unleashing your child's potential. And ring that notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos.